Welcome to the first part of our comprehensive SEO series. Today, we are diving into the foundational steps of site optimization, starting with keyword research and essential tool setup. Before we even touch on-page optimization, we must address indexing. Setting up Google Search Console and Google Analytics is the absolute first step in your SEO journey, ensuring search engines can actually find, read, and track your website. Once your site is properly indexed, the next phase is configuring your SEO plugin. The instructor recommends navigating directly to the Rank Math dashboard. For beginners, it is highly advised to leave the advanced toggles on their default settings to avoid breaking your site. Our immediate focus will be establishing strong meta titles and meta descriptions, which are critical for communicating your page's context to search engine crawlers. To understand how this works in practice, think about when you hover your mouse over a tab in your web browser. That small text box that appears, displaying the site name, that is your meta title in action. It is not just a behind-the-scenes tag for search engines. It directly impacts user experience and determines whether a user decides to click on your link in the search results. Now let's talk about focus keywords. These are the primary terms you want a specific page to rank for, such as digital or developer. When you plug these into Rank Math, the plugin acts as a grading system for your content. The instructor notes that while hitting a perfect 100% optimization score is the ultimate goal, getting your score above 90% is generally required before you publish. One very common area where optimization scores drop is image formatting. The SEO plugin will flag your page if your focus keyword is missing from your image alt text. Adding descriptive alt text that naturally includes your keyword not only clears the plugin's warning, but also drastically improves web accessibility and helps your site appear in Google image search results. Let's look at how we apply this to the homepage. Moving right into the next phase of indexing, verifying your website on Google Search Console is a mandatory technical step. If you are facing issues with verification, the easiest workaround is using an HTML tag. Instead of placing this on every single page manually, you can use a plugin like WP Code to inject the verification tag globally into your site's header. By placing the Google-provided HTML tag right before the closing head section of your site, Search Console can instantly verify your ownership. You can also do this manually through the WordPress theme editor, but the plugin method is much safer and ensures the code persists even if you update your theme. Have you ever noticed how a site appears in search results with a compelling, highly specific title? This display is directly controlled by your meta title and description settings within your WordPress dashboard. Crafting these carefully is exactly what drives users to actually click your link over a competitor's. As you optimize these pages using your SEO plugins, your absolute baseline target should be a score of 90 or higher. If your page is sitting at an 80, do not hit publish yet. You need to dive back into the content, add descriptive alt text to your images, and ensure your focus keyword is properly utilized. A common mistake is stuffing keywords only at the top of the page. True optimization requires a natural distribution. Your primary keywords, like digital marketing services, need to flow seamlessly from your opening paragraphs all the way down to your footer sections to prove relevance to the search engine. Search engine bots rely heavily on your heading structure to understand the hierarchy of your content. Your page should only have one H1 tag, which is your main title. From there, break your content down logically into H2 tags for major sections, H3 tags for subtopics, and H4 tags for granular details. This creates a clean, readable map for Google. Another crucial on-page SEO factor is your internal linking strategy. When a visitor is reading about your SEO services, you shouldn't leave them at a dead end. You need to create logical pathways, like an inline link that says "Get more info," which seamlessly navigates them directly to your Contact Us form. This keeps users engaged and signals site value. Let us apply this to a brand new landing page, for example, a Meta Ads Mastery course. When building this out in a page builder, you start with a clean canvas, design your hero section, and immediately set your focus keyword in the SEO settings. Every single new page must be treated with this same rigorous optimization process. Finally, as users navigate these links, they might occasionally type a wrong URL or hit a broken link. This brings us to the necessity of a custom 404 not found page. Having a properly configured 404 page prevents users from bouncing off your site completely and guides them back to your active content. Let's explore how we construct this specific page next. Moving right along, let's clarify the sequence of how search engines discover your site. Right now, we are focusing heavily on indexing. You must understand that indexing has to happen before Google Spots can actually crawl your specific pages effectively. Once the site is crawled and the data is processed, only then can your website begin to rank on Google search engine results pages. We need this foundation before moving into advanced SEO. As you set this up, you will likely encounter a prompt asking you to verify your domain ownership in Google Search Console. To do this, you need to use DNS configuration. You will take a specific TXT record provided by Google and add it to your domain's DNS settings, which might be managed in Cloudflare or directly through your hosting provider. It might take a little time to propagate, but it is essential for tracking your traffic. Alongside Search Console, you also need to confirm that your Google Analytics is properly connected. You can check this by navigating to your property settings under your account overview. If you have set it up correctly with your Gmail account, you should receive a welcome email confirming the connection. Even if the real-time data does not populate instantly, getting that confirmation means your tracking foundation is successfully in place. Next, let's discuss a crucial element of on-page SEO, the 404 page. If a visitor clicks a broken link or types a random URL on your site, they shouldn't just hit a dead end. A properly configured 404 not found page tells both the user and the search engines that the content is missing. Including a search bar or a link back to your homepage keeps users engaged instead of bouncing off your site immediately. Let's review our comprehensive on-page SEO checklist. We have already covered integrating your primary keyword into the H1 tag and crafting an optimized meta description. Your heading structure must be logical, flowing from H1 down to H2s and H3s. We also emphasize the importance of high-quality content, strategic internal linking between your pages, and maintaining a clean, readable URL structure. But the checklist doesn't stop there. You also need to ensure your images are fully optimized with descriptive alt text, which helps search engines understand your visuals. Furthermore, mobile friendliness is an absolute must, and you should start considering basic schema markup for your blog sections to provide search engines with even more structured context about your content. Another critical factor for both user experience and SEO is your website's loading speed. You should already have a caching plugin installed, such as Lightspeed. Whenever you make significant changes to your site, you need to clear the old data. By hovering over the Lightspeed icon in your top bar and clicking Purge All, you force the site to serve the freshest version. Your ultimate goal is to keep your load times under 3 seconds. Moving into strategy, you must clearly define your niche. A niche is your specific market focus. For example, digital marketing or web design are broad niches. They are highly competitive and very general. A micro niche, on the other hand, is highly targeted, like local SEO for small businesses or Elementor website design. Selecting a micro niche allows you to establish authority much faster because you are solving a very specific problem. When selecting your specific niche, you need to evaluate 4 key criteria. First, who is your target audience? Second, what does the competition look like? Is it too saturated? Third, is there actual market demand for this service? And finally, what is your personal expertise? You must ask yourself what topics you genuinely know well and can deliver high-quality work in. To put this into practice, your next task is to select your niche and perform keyword research. I want you to find 5 specific long-tail keywords. As you research, do not just pick any words. You must analyze the search volume to see how many people are looking for it, assess the competition level, evaluate the overall market demand, and most importantly, determine the search intent behind those queries. We will use these to build out our content strategy as we continue. Moving right along, let's look at the core factors that influence how Google ranks a website. Once your site is indexed, its position depends heavily on providing unique, helpful content. Beyond that, having a strong backlink profile and high domain authority signals to search engines that your site is a credible resource in your specific niche. But content and authority aren't everything. User experience plays a massive role. The structure of your website, combined with solid page speed, ensures visitors don't bounce immediately. Even if your speed isn't perfectly optimized, it needs to be at least average, supported by a logical internal linking structure that helps users navigate easily. Whenever you are optimizing a landing page, you must keep Google's core evaluation framework in mind. Google specifically looks for 4 main elements when assessing content quality. You must prioritize these pillars across your site, ensuring that your pages clearly demonstrate value and reliability to the end user to achieve higher rankings. Now let's shift our focus to keyword research. At its most basic level, what is a keyword? If you open a browser and type a word like iPhone into the search bar, that exact phrase is your keyword. It is simply the specific query a user enters when they are looking for information, products, or services online. Keywords aren't all the same. They generally fall into 4 distinct categories based on user intent. The first type is the informational keyword. This is when a user is specifically looking to learn something or find an answer to a question, rather than looking to make an immediate purchase. We will explore the remaining categories as we map out user intent. Finally, for this segment, let's discuss site tags and favicons. If you are building a static website, you will need to manually insert your meta tags directly into the HTML files. However, if you are using a content management system like WordPress, this process is streamlined. You can easily update your site's tagline in the settings and upload an image to serve as your favicon without touching the code. This leads us directly into how we manage technical elements next. Continuing our discussion on keywords, let's dive into the different types based on their length. Understanding these categories is crucial for an effective SEO strategy. We generally classify keywords into 3 main types: short tail, medium tail, and long tail. First, we have short tail keywords. These are typically 1 or 2 words and represent very broad topics. Think of words like SEO or iPhone. While they have massive search volumes, they are also highly competitive and often lack specific user intent. Next are medium tail keywords, sometimes called mid-tail. These are slightly more specific, usually 2 to 3 words long. Examples would be SEO tools or buy iPhone. They strike a balance between search volume and competition, offering a clearer idea of what the user is looking for. Finally, we have long-tail keywords. These are highly specific phrases, typically 4 or more words. Examples include best SEO tools for beginners or iPhone under 1 lakh. These are the golden nuggets for SEO, especially when starting out. You might wonder, why focus on long-tail keywords if fewer people search for them? The answer lies in competition and intent. Because short-tail keywords are so broad, everyone is trying to rank for them, making it incredibly difficult for a new site. Long-tail keywords, on the other hand, have significantly lower competition. This means you can rank for them much faster. Moreover, because they are so specific, the users searching for them know exactly what they want, leading to much higher conversion rates. Beyond just the length of a keyword, we must also consider the user's intent. What are they actually trying to achieve with their search? Keyword intent is generally categorized into 4 main types: informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. For example, when someone searches for iPhone under 1 lakh, they aren't just looking for general information. This search shows a strong commercial or transactional intent. They are likely comparing options or are ready to make a purchase. Understanding this intent helps you tailor your content to meet the user's exact needs. Shifting gears slightly, let's look at a small but important detail for your website: the favicon. This is the small icon that appears next to your site's title in the browser tab. It might seem minor, but it's crucial for brand recognition and giving your site a professional look. Setting it up is straightforward. In your website settings or customization menu, you'll find an option for the favicon or site icon. Simply upload your chosen image, save the changes, and it will immediately appear in the browser tab, replacing the default icon. Moving right along, let's look at how we categorize what a user is actually trying to do when they search. This is known as keyword intent. The 4 main buckets are informational, where the user wants to learn; navigational, where they are trying to reach a specific website; commercial, where they are researching options; and transactional, where they are ready to take action. For instance, if someone types "buy SEO course," we can safely assume there is a very high probability they intend to make a purchase. This falls squarely into the transactional category. While informational keywords build initial awareness, the ultimate goal for most marketing campaigns is to capture and drive this transactional intent. It is important to remember that users often start at the informational stage. They gather awareness first, and as they learn more, they move down the funnel toward commercial and finally transactional stages. Knowing this helps us structure our keyword research process and choose the right tools to capture users at every step. Once we have our keywords, the actual website setup becomes crucial, especially if the goal is to monetize the site later. For those looking to earn revenue through Google AdSense, there are strict approval requirements. One seemingly small but mandatory requirement is setting up a favicon, which is the tiny image that appears on the browser tab. After saving the favicon, the next technical step involves search engine optimization plugins like Rank Math. When configuring these settings, it is vital to check the indexing status. You must ensure the setting is left on indexed. If it is not indexed, search engines will simply ignore the page, making all that keyword research useless as we prepare for the next phase of deployment. Picking right up with our SEO strategy, let's dive into the keyword research process. A great starting point is Google Trends. By entering a seed term like Best Digital Marketing Class, you can instantly visualize its popularity over time. You can filter these results by specific regions like Nepal or India, adjust the time frame to the past 3 months, or even narrow it down by categories such as entertainment or health to see exactly what users are searching for right now. As you filter through these initial ideas, there is a fundamental rule you must always keep in mind. Your primary goal is to find keywords that have a high search volume combined with low competition. High search volume ensures that people are actually looking for this topic, while low competition means you have a realistic chance of ranking on the first page of search results. Mastering this balance is the core of effective keyword research. Another essential tool is the Google Keyword Planner. While it requires a Google account login, it provides highly specific data directly from the search engine. You can set your exact target location, such as Nepal, and choose whether you are targeting Google Search or Search Partners. The planner reveals the average monthly searches and the overall trend for your keywords, giving you a solid foundation before moving on to more advanced third-party software. Beyond Google's native options, professional SEOs rely on industry-standard tools like Ubersuggest, SEMrush, Ahrefs, and Moz. While Ubersuggest used to be entirely free, most of these are now premium platforms. However, they are worth the investment for serious projects. If you are on a budget, you can still find free utilities. For example, Ahrefs offers a free keyword generator tool hidden down in the footer of their website, which is incredibly useful for gathering initial ideas. Let's look closer at SEMrush, specifically its keyword magic tool. When entering your seed keywords, it is crucial to focus on long-tail keywords rather than short-tail ones. For instance, trying to rank for a broad short-tail keyword like Nike is nearly impossible due to massive competition. Instead, extending that to a long-tail phrase like men's shoes and sneakers Nike significantly reduces your competition while targeting users with a much clearer, specific intent. Once you have your long-tail keyword, you need to apply strict filters to the generated list. You should filter for a minimum search volume, perhaps around 1,000, and look for a low keyword difficulty, or KD score. Additionally, filtering by commercial intent ensures you attract users ready to make a purchase, while checking the CPC, or cost per click, indicates how valuable advertisers consider that specific traffic to be. SEMrush isn't just for finding new keywords. It is incredibly powerful for auditing existing websites and analyzing competitors. By entering a domain name, you can instantly view its overall authority score, organic traffic levels, and its backlink profile. You can see exactly which keywords are driving traffic to your competitors and identify the referring domains that link back to them, allowing you to reverse engineer their successful ranking strategies. Shifting gears from off-site research to on-page optimization, let's look at managing your index pages using the Rank Math SEO plugin in WordPress. In the Rank Math settings, you will start with the Local SEO tab. Here, you need to define whether your site represents a person or an organization. You will also upload your official logo and set an alternative website name, so search engines clearly understand your brand identity. After saving your local and social media settings, you will leave the default post and page settings as they are, because we handle those individually. The most critical next step is preparing your custom meta titles and meta descriptions for each specific post. As we move forward, we will look at exactly how to write these meta tags to maximize your click-through rates from the search engine results pages. Let us dive right into competitor analysis. By inspecting competitor websites using SEO tools, we can uncover exactly which keywords they rank for, their URL structures, keyword difficulty, and search volume. You might notice a metric called traffic cost. This does not mean they are paying that amount. Rather, it is an estimate of what that organic traffic would cost if you were running paid Google ads. When performing this research, the platform you choose matters, though it largely comes down to personal preference. Platforms like SEMrush offer extensive features for deep competitor research and are highly recommended. However, Moz is also a fantastic alternative, especially if you are focusing heavily on blogging or affiliate marketing. The key is to explore these platforms, perhaps using a free trial, and see which interface you feel most comfortable using. Moving on to keyword strategy, we must understand the difference between short-tail and long-tail keywords. A short-tail keyword like simply WordPress has massive search volume, perhaps 20,000 plus searches, but the competition is incredibly fierce. For new or budget-limited sites, we want to target long-tail keywords, such as free WordPress course in Nepal, which have lower competition but capture a highly specific user intent. To find these golden opportunities, we apply specific filters in our keyword tools. We typically look for a minimum word count of 5 to ensure it is truly a long-tail phrase. We also want a keyword difficulty score under 20 and a search volume between 10 and 100. Filtering for commercial or transactional intent ensures the traffic we bring in is actually looking for the services or products we offer. Once you apply these filters, you begin the harvesting phase. Do not just rely on SEO tools. Look directly at Google's People Also Search For section to find variations you might have missed. Copy these valuable keywords and paste them into a dedicated mapping document, like a Google Sheet. This map becomes the blueprint for your website, ensuring every page targets a specific, well-researched term without cannibalizing your other pages. After mapping your keywords, the next crucial step is optimizing how your pages appear in the search results. When a user searches on Google, they primarily see 3 things: the URL, the meta title, and the meta description. These elements are your first impression. If they are not optimized, even the best content will not get clicks. We need to craft these carefully to stand out. There are strict guidelines for crafting effective meta tags. Your meta title should be between 50 and 60 characters. Any longer, and search engines will cut it off. Your meta description provides more room, ideally between 150 and 160 characters. Always include your primary keyword, compelling action words, and relevant local details like your city. This maximizes both visibility and click-through rates. To implement this, you will head into your WordPress dashboard and use an SEO plugin. You can even use AI tools like ChatGPT to help generate title and description ideas based on your criteria. Paste your chosen text into the plugin, set your focus keyword, and watch the analyzer. Your goal is to tweak the phrasing until the plugin gives you a green light, indicating your length and keyword placement are perfectly optimized. That brings us to the end of our comprehensive SEO journey. Remember, successful SEO starts with analyzing your competitors to find realistic gaps. Prioritize long-tail keywords with low difficulty, map them out systematically, and always ensure your meta titles and descriptions are perfectly crafted within character limits. Apply these strategies consistently, and you will see your organic traffic grow. Thank you for following along.